Hey guys, Robert Ayers here. Just want to stop in and talk about the new dog respiratory deal that's going around. I've seen so far in some of the posts that are being, and the main thing they're talking about being up to date on vaccines. And again, guys, we know these regular vaccines don't work anyways. Again, I'm an advocate of less is better. Going off of Dr. John Robb, his recommended vaccination schedule. And the thing is, hell, the Bordetella shots they get now don't work. You know what I mean? So, again, just, maybe for anyone new to the group, but kind of a story I've talked about before is, what really got me looking into vaccinations and, learning that dogs don't need these things every year and that, some of it's kind of BS is, years ago, we had a female that we had imported from Canada, and at that time, we only had about 5 dogs, and 4 out of the 5 got kennel cough, and they were all up to date on their vaccines. I did them every year like I thought I was supposed to, and I'm going, well, what the hell? Why'd they get this? And so, I started researching on it. At that time, it was harder to find, truthful and good information, but there was some info out there. And the thing is, like with the Bordetella, which is kennel cough, there's so many different viruses. And that's the thing with most of these diseases out there. There's so many different viruses and it doesn't work. And, not to, just even thinking about COVID, which, not anything political, because I know people on both sides that got the vaccination. But, every person I know that got the COVID vaccination still got COVID. It just doesn't work. And, so the Bordetella shot, again, same thing. It's, my dogs, they got kennel cough. They coughed for a week, sounded horrible, but they got over it and everything was good. Now they had a true immunity to it. And that's why I tell people, don't get that vaccine. It's junk. It truly is. A lot of people, not a lot, but, definitely a lot of people outside of our group and whatnot, they let scare tactics get to them. They let the vets pressure them into doing things they shouldn't do. But this is a whole new virus. And number one, these vaccinations they give already don't work, most of them. And, who knows where it came from? Again, it's kind of like our government. Now we find out COVID was man-made. And, the vaccinations are having horrible effects on people. Kind of like I was telling someone earlier, it's kind of like parvo in dogs. Parvo for dogs was a man-made virus. There was parvo in cats, and they started doing the vaccinations, and this you can look up, it's 100% true. For some crazy reason, they started doing the vaccination on dogs, and they didn't even have it. That's what caused dogs to get parvo, and now it's something that's, going to probably be around forever. But yeah, this is something new they have no idea about. And again, it's kind of like, guys, even in humans, again, flu A, flu B. Each year, they don't even know really what we're getting, okay, what's going to be around this year. And they just kind of say that because there's probably more viruses than they want to admit to. And then at the end of the day, they say, okay, well, it probably only helps about 10%, which in my opinion, that's probably a rounded up number. So, it's the same thing. A lot of vaccinations are truly just junk. Again, Bordetella, kennel cough. If your dog's ever got kennel cough or gets it, they're going to cough for a week. It's going to sound horrible. They're going to live, and you'll never have to worry about it again. I know there's some people that get it sometimes because they require it when you board your dogs. But at the same time, if you don't board your dogs, you're really just putting junk into them that they don't need. So yeah, with this, again, don't let that be scare tactics for you to run out and go start vaccinating your dogs on crap that's not going to work anyways. Again, and, for people new to the group or that, haven't really looked at any of, where I've talked about vaccinations before. Again, go watch Dr. John Robb's videos. He's an actual immunologist. Like I tell people when they pick their pups up, vets don't learn anything about immunology in college. They learn about the vaccines, but they do not learn about vaccine or immunology itself. That's pretty new. Dr. John Robb's been doing it for years. Dr. Rodney Habib dabbles in it. But, they've been doing it long enough. We've got some true studies. And, so we only do parvo and distemper for our pups. Because if you ever hear of a dog dying, it's parvo distemper. And a lot of things, again, one of the things I've always referred to in the past is coyotes, wolves out in the wild. It's not that they don't run across this stuff, guys. It's that they have natural immunity. They're not getting vaccinations every year. One of the things I've talked about in the past, too, Dr. H.H. Funberg, who is a immunologist also, he says by doing vaccines so close, just 2 vaccines can decrease your pet's immunity by 70%. So that's why, our dogs are more prone to getting things that you're going to see dogs in the wild. They come across it, but they harbor it, Same thing with dogs, again, their bodies were built and meant to eat dead rodents, eat this and that. It's not that they don't ever come across salmonella, E. coli, but they harbor it. There's a lot of dogs out there who, they, like I said, if you test them, they're going to test positive for certain things, but it doesn't affect them because that's how their bodies are built. Now, when we start over vaccinating and doing too much crap, we start breaking down their immune system, which can result in a lot of negative things. Such as just immune deficiency, which can lead to allergies. It can lead to, or vaccinations, again, right after the vaccinations, having seizures, just a lot of stuff. So anyways, this is just a quick, I'm driving out to Altus. It's about an hour drive, me and Rob. And, I've been seeing a lot of posts, and I know it's scary, but guys, stay away from dog parks. That's the main thing. Don't take your dogs out. And, over the years, oh God, I think that last year, like the year before, I had 3 customers, and it was probably just going around more that year, but I had 3 customers that reached out to me and said, oh, my dog's got kennel cough. What do I do? I said, well, they're going to get over it in a week. It's going to sound horrible for 7 to 10 days, but they're going to get over it. They're going to be fine. But the thing was, and I always ask, because, again, I recommend don't do that. And hey, did you do the Bordetella just, so I know, my knowledge? Yeah, we did. I know you said not to do it. Okay, and that's why I say don't do it, because if your dogs run across it, they're going to get it. Those shots do not work. And so the new info vets are going to give you is not that the shots don't work, but dogs are adapting to it. BS. So now, instead of doing it every year, you need to do it every 6 months because dogs are adapting to it. And it's not working because the shit in the needle is not working. It's not because dogs are adapting to it. So, like I said, guys, when it comes to vaccinations, it's a moneymaker for the vets. There's a lot of scare tactics involved, but don't go run out and start doing unnecessary vaccinations. Again, this is something new. There is no way that, they're going to have any type of vaccination that's going to cover it. Again, just be safe. Keep your pets at home right now. I'm sure it's something, again, that's going to blow over. But at the same time, a lot of things you want to always be careful with your dogs. Don't take them to dog parks. They're nasty. Don't take them where there's creeks that, just kind of sit, and there's septic water, and there's green algae, and, that can cause meningitis. That can cause a ton of different things. So anyways, like I said, guys, don't go start running out, getting vaccinations your dog doesn't need. Once again, we do, before our pups leave us, we do parvo and distemper, and then we recommend that 3 weeks later, you go do another parvo and distemper only. And then at 17 weeks, you do parvo and distemper again. Okay, now new studies show that if you do it that way, your dog's going to be good for life. Now, all you got to do is titer test, a blood test. People, I get a lot of people that go, oh, well, if you want to throw up hurdles, I'm not going to jump them for you. This is just facts, and if you're going to go do it, you're still going to do it. If you're going to let the vet get the best of you, I always tell people, think about it as if you're kids. You're going to let your doctor pressure you into something that's not good for your kids. And that's another, example I use is that, we now know through vaccination, through studies, like with Dr. John Robb, that dogs respond to these vaccinations the same way humans do. we go to the doctor when we were all kids. Our parents got us vaccinations, but we don't go every single year and get the same vaccinations like we do for our dogs, because we know we have revolving antibodies. Therefore, we still have immunity after all these years later. And it's the same thing with dogs, guys. Again, through the studies, they're learning that if you do these vaccinations appropriately at the early ages, wait till 6 months of age to do rabies, not just because you want to wait for the time for the lifetime immunity, but because it's a pretty harsh vaccination. And again, these are things vets don't tell you. And like one of the things I've referred to before, and I know a lot of you have heard, some of our older customers, and a lot of you are my friends too, is like I refer to, in the 80s, no one went and took their dogs to the vet back in the 80s. I mean, some people did, but it wasn't for, vaccination. It was really if a dog just got really sick. But, it was old farm dogs. It was the old neighborhood dog, and no one took their dogs in, but those are the dogs living to be 17, 18 plus years old. Because they had natural immunity, just like these dogs in the wild, coyote, wolves. They ran across something. They were kind of down and out for a week, but they got over it, and they had natural immunity. So, and that's what you want to understand, guys. I mean, their bodies will take care of themselves if we're not overdoing things. We want to do the basics and not overdo things just because the vet uses scare tactics and we let them push us into doing something. And again, if the vet's not on board with you, again, like I tell people, go find another vet. Some vets, okay, not all. I have some good vets, but vets almost act like they're doing you a favor. And it's like, dude, I'm paying you. I'm the customer. I can go find another vet. And I think sometimes we forget about that. There's a lot of vets out there, and by just searching, and people go, oh, well, I made a call or two. I mean, I always hear, like I said, there's a lot of hurdles. Well, I'm going to tell you what to do and what not. I mean, like I said, I can't jump every hurdle and go doing your work for you to search and find a good vet. But if you'll take an hour, call multiple vets, you're going to find a good one. But if you just pick up one and the first one tells you, no, we need to do this, and well, I tried. Well, no, you didn't really try, but you called one vet, and that kind of, now you're saying you tried. Again, that's like in life. A lot of things you're not gonna succeed in the very first time. Again, that's it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up that, on whether you failed or succeeded. If you fall down 7 times and get up 8, hey, and that's what it takes, and you finally, hit what you've been going for, then you succeeded. If you fall 7 times and on the 7th one you don't get up, well, you failed, and you might have been right there. But anyways, and not trying to, but sometimes it can be frustrating when people do, because again, what we recommend is based off studies, and it's 100% for the dog's health. And like I said, I do get people who want me to jump their hurdles for them, or, well, we have to do that. Okay, well, I've gave you the info. Now you do what you want with it. I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth for 30 minutes trying to convince you, and you're trying to convince me to, and I guess, I don't know, looking for a better answer or something. I mean, it just is what it is. So anyways, guys, once again, try to wrapping this up. Don't go start running out and getting unnecessary vaccinations. There's no way any of our current vaccinations, number one, the current vaccinations for dogs don't cover crap anyways, besides parvo and distemper. Influenza, it's junk. Like in Oklahoma, there hasn't even been a dog case of influenza in 40 years. Same thing. I'll get people, well, they're okay, well, whatever, go do what you want then. Bordetella, it's a trash shot. There's so many different strands out there. Adenovirus, another BS vaccination. Parvo, distemper, and we do rabies because we have to, because of the state. If you got a puppy, you do the 3-year rabies. That way they're not bothering you. And after that, you start doing titer tests. But again, guys, it makes me wonder. We know our government, obviously, they don't care about our lives. They're creating a deal to take us out. They're creating, and so who knows if this isn't not something else just created by the government. It's all about money. It's about big pharma. And don't think that vets aren't the same. I mean, it truly is. It's like the major vaccine company, and same thing with Science Diet. Those are two companies that have the biggest scholarship for vets while they're in school. You know, so they already come out of school and they're already sold on Science Diet, which is a crappy dog food, you know, and trying to sell you on it. And, you know, they got their scholarship through the vaccine companies. And, you know, again, hey, let's get you in here right away. Let's do this. And boom, boom, boom. It's money in their pocket. And I think that's just truly what it's about. So, again, the skinny of this video, guys, is don't let scare tactics get y'all worried. Just keep your dogs at home. Even if there wasn't this out, don't go to dog parks anyways. They're filthy. And if you take your dogs out hiking and, you know, there's water or this or that, just be careful, you know. That's what you need to do. So, anyways, talk to you later.